Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a wonderful September day. In the latest episode of Mind the Shift, I talk about, among other things, my experience, an episode when I was 20 years old, when I, during a few days, felt anxiety because of the unbearable thought that I was only the lump of flesh inside my skull. I couldn't stand that thought. So I had tunnel vision, and I reality became very unreal for me during a few days. I think today that it was my higher self trying to tell me something about reality, that I actually have a spiritual side. Uh, Many don't believe that, but quite a few people do that because they have had similar experiences and even more spectacular and more beautiful experiences. There is more and more evidence coming out now that science and spirituality need to merge. There has been a separation for a few hundred years, which was probably necessary at one point in history, but it's now getting more and more necessary for the two to merge. And there is more and more research that is scientific, but that is also spiritual, that shows that there is a connection, and there are things that traditional nature science cannot actually explain. So you have to find some of the answers in old spiritual traditions. I got this very kind email from Rupert Sheldrake today. I don't know if you're familiar with Rupert Sheldrake, but he's one of the most interesting scientists spanning the border between science and spirituality. Uh, he didn't have time to talk to me on the podcast right now, but hopefully we will get back in touch in a few months. So I really hope I will be able to do an interview with him. I did, however, talk on the podcast to Dr. Eben Alexander, who was a neurosurgeon when he had one of the most spectacular near-death experiences documented. During a week of coma, when his brain was completely out, he experienced another dimension, another realm, where reality was several times more real than this reality, this three-dimensional reality that we call reality. So we will be featuring Dr. Eben Alexander in a few days on the podcast, so don't miss that. I think we are entering very interesting times when it comes to this thing, this merging of science and spirituality. We're going to see very many interesting studies in the coming years. I'm convinced of that. And there is also this feature that people who have some kind of belief in the spiritual world, they still want to separate that from the ordinary life that they're leading, from economy, from politics, from culture, society at large, which I think is a bit strange, because if there is something different, if our spiritual selves doesn't die when the physical body dies, and then there is a possibility that we can access other dimensions, then that of course has implications for all that we do in life. So I'm not going to discuss in this short vlog exactly how we should go about integrating these insights in our ordinary lives, but I just wanted to say that I think it's a bit odd to adamantly decide that this has to be something separate from the rest of our lives, because I mean, it's all our lives anyway.